When it comes to riding at night, having a good safety light isn't optional, it's essential. And we'd been actually looking for a solid safety bike light for quite some time, something reliable and easy to use. That's when we found the Ravemen FR160, and it instantly caught our eye. We've been using it for the past few months on daily commutes and weekend rides, and we think it's the right time to share our experience, how it fits, how it performs, and whether it truly keeps us visible when it matters most. So, let's get into it. So, starting off with the unboxing, as you can see, the box has this sharp orange color. Okay, let's open. Inside, everything's packed neatly. We got the FR160 light itself, a USB Type-C cable, an insurance card, and a little instruction manual. Okay, here. We really like that it uses Type-C. It just makes charging more convenient with the same cables we already have. And once we held it, we found it's quite lightweight yet feels solid in hand. And honestly, it feels kinda premium for something that's only around 37 bucks. Well, we really appreciate how the Raveman FR160 feels slim and genuinely well thought out. Mounting the light is actually easy. We just attached it to our Garmin 540 bike computer, and it fit perfectly. And don't worry if you don't have a Garmin. This mount works just as well with Wahoo, Hammerhead, and iGPS port, so you've got plenty of options. And we actually liked how it sits perfectly between the bike computer and the mount. Yeah, with no extra brackets or bulky add-ons. Now, if talking about its build, it feels solid with a nice shape that's wider up front and tapers towards the back. We found the little beveling around the edges to be a neat touch, which adds some visual depth without overdoing it. Plus here, the matte texture feels quite premium. We also liked the wraparound lens here. As you can see, the lens gently curves along the edge. Okay, let us tell you it's not just for looking stylish, but also makes you visible from almost any angle. And the USB Type-C port plus power button are neatly tucked in at the rear. Overall, we must say, the FR160 feels refined and really well executed for something that blends right into the setup. Okay, it's got a pretty decent mix of lighting modes as well, packed into this tiny unit. Here, the 3 steady options, high, mid, and low, put out 50, 25, and 10 lumens. Well, they're fine for normal rides. Nothing super impressive, but they do the job. We found out the warning flash is the brightest one, hitting 160 lumens with a dull backlight and sharp strobe bursts. It's definitely noticeable, which is great for being seen, though it's a bit intense if you're not expecting it. Then there's a fast 25 lumen flash and a bit slower 50 lumen one for something less crazy. One thing we quickly noticed about the FR160 is how small and light it feels, yet it still manages to keep the light going for hours. It has a really small battery, 380 mAh, 3.7 volts, but don't let the numbers scare you. It's tiny, but it's rechargeable, and it comes with a low battery indicator, which is actually helpful. And after a few commutes and rides, we found out that the warning flash mode happily ran for around 5 hours, which is pretty solid for everyday riding. On the high static mode, we fully charged it and let it drain completely, and it gave us about 4 hours. Honestly, we kind of expected that, and it didn't disappoint. We like this balance between brightness and battery life. It feels quite reliable. Okay, so we decided to take the Raveman FR160 out for a proper spin, and let us tell you, it's exactly what most people say. It's more about being seen than seeing. We mounted it right on top of our Garmin 540 bike computer, and honestly, it barely adds any bulk at all. Okay, we already have a lighting setup on our bike for both night rides and daytime, but we added the Raveman FR160 mainly for safety, just to make sure we're visible during the day and night. Most people say this light isn't really for seeing the road ahead. It's for being seen, and we have to agree. The FR160 doesn't put out enough lumens to replace your main night light, but honestly, it does a great job at making you visible, which is exactly what it's meant for. For safety purposes, it's really reassuring to have it on, and we can definitely feel the difference when other riders or drivers spot us from a distance. Okay, now let's see what we found out. Here, the wraparound COBLED makes us visible from almost every angle, which is huge for city traffic or busy trails. And during daytime rides, even in bright sunlight, you can still notice it from a distance, so it definitely catches attention. For night rides, we paired it with another light mounted just below it, which really boosts visibility. But honestly, the FR160 alone lights up the handlebars enough to spot your controls, which is a neat bonus. The output modes are simple but effective. The low and medium constant modes are perfect for everyday riding, and we usually skip the 50 lumen high. It's a bit overkill. The flash modes are actually pretty cool. The rapid flash gives you over 12 hours, and the slower warning flash lasts even longer. Using the full 160 lumens with the warning flash is bright enough to make sure other riders and drivers notice you without blinding anyone. Okay, we want to mention a few things as well. The battery indicator is kinda basic. It only lets you know when it's really low. There's no multi-level info. Also, that rear button can be a bit tricky to reach, especially if you've got a bigger GPS mounted. It's a stretch to get to it. Honestly, a side button would have been way more convenient, which we feel. But overall, we genuinely like this little light as it's compact, easy to mount, and really gives that extra sense of safety. Well, basically, it's not meant to replace your main night lights, but for being seen, especially during the day, it's hard to beat. On the road, we felt more confident and definitely noticed the added visibility. Alright, that was all for today. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more bike gear reviews.